It's a great honor that I have today to present an honorary doctorate. Vince Gill has been one of the best known names in music. With more than 26 million albums sold, he has earned 18 CMA awards, including Entertainer of the Year twice. He's tied for having won the most CMA Male Vocalist Awards at 5, and second, temporarily, for accumulating the most CMA awards in history. Gill is a member of the Grand Ole Opry and the Country Music Hall of Fame. He has received 19 Grammy Awards to date. Those aren't nominations, those are awards to date, the most of any male country artist. Besides being known for his talent as a performer, musician, and songwriter, Gill is regarded as one of this community's and this country's best-known humanitarians, participating in hundreds of charitable events throughout his career. His contributions to Belmont University are plentiful, starting in 1990 with the Vince Gill Celebrity Basketball Game and Concert, which raised funds for scholarship and program enhancement for Belmont University's athletic and music business programs. In addition, Vince has established 3 endowed scholarships at Belmont in the names of his loved ones: the Stan Gill Scholarship in Music Business in honor of his father, Stan Gill; the Robert Cohen Scholarship in Music Business in honor of his brother, Bob Cohen; and the John Hughley Scholarship in Music Business in honor of his longtime steel guitar player and friend. These scholarships provide resources for deserving students of Belmont University's Mike Curb College of Entertainment and Music Business. Last year, the Curb College presented Gill with the 2010 Robert E. Malloy Award of Excellence. On a personal note, I would interject a story of a day when right here in this facility, actually it was in Stripling Gym, where my little nephew and Judy's little nephew, who suffered from muscular dystrophy, had the opportunity to meet Vince and Amy. And it was a big, big deal. I'm not sure, I am sure, I know you know the difference you make in people's lives, but David idolized Vince, and Vince and Amy were so good to him. He returned home to his little church in Cedar Grove, Arkansas, and there at the service, just before it began, he shows his little friend a picture of himself with Vince and Amy. And his little friend, even, as they're waiting, the choir coming in, his little friend just stands up and yells across at his father, Dad, it's a picture of David with the man. It's David and the man. As a singer, as a songwriter, as a multifaceted musician, Vince Gill has mastered his craft, and yet he keeps pushing himself to greater excellence. Moreover, as a citizen and a humanitarian, he dedicates himself to service and to providing opportunities for others to succeed. Vince is truly a Nashville and national treasure. His professional experiences and personal contributions make him an ideal candidate for the Doctorate of Humanities degree. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, Vince Gill. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. I don't know what the over and under is on at what point I will weep, but I would bet on me too. I usually do. When I came in this morning and they gave me one of these, I said, well, I haven't worn one of these since I was a senior in high school, and now I know why. But no, I remember my high school years fondly. My senior year, it was probably the hardest 3 years of my life. My senior year, I knew as a young guy that college was not in my future. I had always been led by my ears. Exactly right. I didn't see my future. I heard my future, and I lived in a time when there wasn't videos of people, and the TV only had 3 channels, and it was a great time. I wish we still only had 3 channels, but I learned everything I knew how to do by listening, and I found it to be the most important thing in my life was my ability to hear what it was that I wanted to emulate. I wanted to learn. And I never in my wildest dreams thought that a day like this would happen, and all I wanted to do was, my college experience was somewhat similar to yours maybe, that I spent all my college years in a beer joint, playing gigs, and that was my college experience. I was in a country rock band that played probably 90% colleges, and I was the same age as all the college kids, so that was my college education, and it was a great one. I never had to study one time. And throughout the years, I've had some great experiences and some not so great experiences. And I would tell all you young people, first and foremost, you'll learn more when you fail. You'll learn a whole lot more when you fail than when you succeed. It's very easy to react to success. It's so easy, but the other really will build your character. And I didn't know what this honorary doctorate was going to be in. I knew that it could be in something, and I wasn't sure. I thought it might be music, but humanities works. I'm just I love the human spirit, and in all honesty, I was hoping that it would be in friendship. That's the single reason I stand before you today, because of one single friendship. And the guy sitting over there, that's your head basketball coach. I know he'd like to see this many people in the gym every night when he plays basketball. But I met Rick on a golf course in the late 80s, and I was making records at the time, but I couldn't prove it because nobody had them. And he was playing basketball, but he couldn't prove it because nobody came to the games. And it made for a great friendship. I'll never forget the first game I went to. There was a tournament, I think over at Lipscomb, and he invited me to a game, and it was a daytime preseason tournament or something, and I went to the game, and I loved sports all my life. I played hoops, and I played golf, and I just loved sports. And I came into the gym, and I went and found a seat behind the bench, behind the Belmont bench. And in those days, there were just bleachers. It was just bleachers all the way across. I was the only guy in the bleachers on that side of the gym. There were a few other folks on the other side. I would venture to say less than 20. And one of them was Dr. Gebhardt. And Rick loves remembering this story because it's the very first time we ever met and spent any time together. But I've been known to be somewhat vocal towards the referees, an occasional player. I think Rick in those days thought I was worth about 6 or 8 points a game for his team because I could rattle the players and I could rattle a few officials. But anyway, the referee made a call that I felt was probably not in our best interest. And I proceeded to stand up in the bleachers, and I ran the length of the gym in the bleachers, chasing the referee, yelling at him the whole way down the floor. And I remember Rick and the whole team was looking back at me, and they all had this bewildered look on their face, like, who's your new psycho friend? And away we went on a friendship, just one single friendship, and it's easily been one of the best friends I've ever had, and we've both been through everything together, some good times, some hard times, and I encourage you that you can't be a friend until you have a friend, and cherish your friendships. They're the most important thing that you'll ever do while you're on this earth. And I'd like to thank Dr. Bob Fisher, all the faculty here. You've done a very gracious thing. You might have set the university back a spell, but I truly have never been more honored to receive anything in my life than this, because it came strictly from a friendship. So Rick, thank you. God bless.